Elon Musk has been proudly adopted as a crypto icon. He was peddling OG counterparty NFTs way back in 2018. He first got into Dogecoin, the people's coin, all thanks to a Twitter poll in 2019. And since then, Elon has set up Doge mining rigs for his kids, bought millions of dollars of Doge and billions of dollars of Bitcoin on behalf of his company Tesla. Tesla were actually one of the first companies not only to invest in crypto, but actually opening up their company to accepting it as payments. In March last year, Musk tweeted, "You can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin." Down the thread, he continued to say Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin and not converted into fiat currency. He also announced that this capability will be available to overseas buyers very shortly. And Elon doubled down on his sentiment. He tweeted out 2 little icons that would come back this week to haunt him. He wrote, "Tesla has diamond hands." Obviously a term used for people who don't plan on selling their crypto investments. But his actions seem to be very different to his words, because Tesla sold over $1 billion of Bitcoin since then, in not just one, but 2 different cases. The first time Tesla sold Bitcoin was April last year, when Tesla sold over 10% of its holding, which was worth more than $250 million. This actually triggered quite the outrage on Twitter, and you can see people such as Dave Portnoy tweeting things like this. So am I understanding this correctly? Elon buys Bitcoin, pumps it, it goes up, and then he dumps it and makes a fortune. Listen, I own 1 Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is exactly what we thought it was. Just don't be the last one hodling the bag. Elon Musk then kicked in the door and responded, "No, you don't. I've not sold any of my Bitcoin." Tesla sold 10% of its holdings essentially to prove liquidity of Bitcoin as an alternative to holding cash on the balance sheet. So Musk basically says he was just trying to prove to his investors that Bitcoin is a liquid asset that they can invest and get out of really quickly. But his point was proved through this demonstration, and he never ended up buying back in with that money. But apparently this innocent 10% was okay. But things have gotten a lot worse. Just last quarter, Elon ended up dumping 75% of his remaining Bitcoin holding, which is $936 million US. What could possibly be the reason for this? Well, there's a lot of rumors flying around. The first ones have to do with the leaked photos of Elon Musk enjoying his time on a yacht. People have been heavily criticizing Elon Musk for his figure, and a fake account popped up saying, "Everybody said I was fat, so I sold all my Bitcoin." That tweet received over 70,000 likes. But obviously, it's just a joke. That's not the real reason. More people think the real reason is because Elon doesn't believe in crypto as a legitimate base of currency. Basically saying that Elon has lost faith in Web3, in crypto, in NFTs, and he's getting his money out while he can before it all goes to zero. Well, it turns out the real reason for it has nothing to do with Elon's body composition and nothing to do with his long-term stance on crypto. In fact, listen to why Elon says they sold their Bitcoin.
The reason we sold a bunch of our Bitcoin holdings was that we were uncertain as to when the COVID lockdowns in China would alleviate. So it was important for us to maximize our cash position given the uncertainty of the COVID lockdowns in China.
So put simply, Tesla is trying to expand their business during a pretty big recession. And the times right now globally are pretty uncertain. Regulations in China, his new gigafactories in Germany and in Austin, Texas have his expenses at all-time highs. Musk says that both Berlin and Austin factories are gigantic money furnaces right now. It's like a giant roaring sound, which is the sound of money on fire, and the losses are in the billions. So Tesla's struggling a little bit. In their latest earnings report, their revenue was down, their profits were down, but luckily they had a positive cash position. Why? Because they sold $936 million of assets into US dollars. And this actually appears to be a smart move. Let's do a little math together. Say that Tesla's earnings report came back with lower revenue, lower profit, and decreased cash balances. And remember, this is in an uncertain time where cash balances is sort of king in order to ride out the storm. Maybe this report would have dipped the Tesla stock price by about 3 to 5%. Well, their company is worth $850 billion, and a 5% dip would be $43 billion. So instead, how about we just sell $1 billion of assets and save ourselves a $43 billion drop? Plus, as Elon says, it allows them a little bit of certainty and a little bit of time to ride out the storm while things get back on track in the world. Furthermore, people are also criticizing Elon for selling during a dip. Every good investor knows you want to buy low and sell high, not buy high and sell low. Well, Tesla got their Bitcoin investment in at about $35,000 US. And upon announcing their investment, it boosted the market more than it had ever seen before, going from $38,000 to $46,000. apparently the biggest green candle in a single 24-hour period. Well, Tesla apparently got out of Bitcoin $936 million worth at an average price of $29,000. I mean, this doesn't sound too silly, since if they wanted to buy back in right now, they'd get a 25% discount, as Bitcoin at the time I'm recording this video is about 22,000 bucks. So now to the question we're all asking, or at least should be asking. Why didn't Elon sell his Doge instead of his Bitcoin? Is it that Elon believes that Doge is going to go up more than Bitcoin and it's a better investment? Should we all go buy millions of dollars of Doge ourselves to become billionaires in the next few months as the market rebounds? No, we definitely should not. The real reason is Elon only has a very tiny amount of Dogecoin. Actually, I was really surprised when I heard exactly how much Doge Tesla holds. Because not only do they hold it as an investment, but they're also accepting it as a payment for a car. So Tesla reportedly had about 42,000 Bitcoin heading into the second quarter. They then, as we discovered, sold 75% of them, which means they have about 10,500 Bitcoins left. At the average price of just over $20,000 per Bitcoin, we can discover that the total amount of digital assets held in Bitcoin would be about $213 million. This only leaves a tiny amount of room left over for Dogecoin, about $5 million of holdings as a rough estimation. So obviously the reason they sold Bitcoin is just because there's so much more of it, they can increase their balance sheet even further. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button below. We do 3 videos a week for people just like you who want to get more educated on Web3. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.